It is Saturday, December 15th. Got a lot of football to talk about. Talk about Thursday night's thriller, the Jets game that Julian and I just got back from, and the game going on right now between the Browns and the Broncos. So, for G&T Sports Talk, I'm Bobby Thompson.
I'm Julian Gallardi.
And let's get it. Hello, everybody, and another edition of G&T Sports Talk. As I said, I'm Bobby Thompson.
I'm Julian Gallardi.
And, Jules, we got a lot of football to talk about, don't we, brother?
Yes, we do. So Thursday was an insane game, and we just got back from a game that's probably closer than a lot of people thought it would be. So let's get to it. I guess we can start off with Thursday, Chiefs-Chargers. We had a little side bet on this. I know I took Chiefs, you took Chargers. Score one for you.
Yeah, it was what everybody expected. It was going to be a thriller that was going to come down to the wire, and that's exactly what it did. We said what I felt is, in my opinion, the Chargers are a scary team. There was optimism that Melvin Gordon could play. He tested it out pregame. They said that he could not go. Ended up Austin Eckler was out with concussion.
Yeah.
And they had to go with Justin Jackson, and the third back was, I think, some guy. I don't even know his name. But
yeah, I mean, we're getting too deep in the depth chart for us.
But anyway,
I guess. So once you get down to the fourth running back, like you're looking at practice squad guys.
They did call
cut Bobby some slack.
They just called somebody.
Yeah, I don't know who it is either. Let's be honest.
So, they did play well. I think that in my opinion, with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter at home, the Chiefs had a 14-point lead.
I thought I had this thing won. I mean, let's not even get to that. So 14-0, 21-7, 28-14. Three separate times his team was up by 14, and three separate times they let it all go. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Typical Andy Reid team.
Yeah. Hey, he can't.
That's what it is.
He just can't finish. No, I guess not.
Man.
So
it's baffling.
And you saw –
I mean, Mahomes was limited, too. They did a good job with Tyreek Hill. Mahomes didn't even get to 250, which is stunning for a guy of his caliber, and probably one of his least effective games of the season, even though he didn't turn it over.
Yeah.
Which was kind of surprising, like how it all went, I thought. I mean, 28 points is 28 points, but for the Chiefs, that's not even that many.
Well, we saw in the beginning, I think we both agreed that when Phillip Rivers threw that interception.
It looks like Chiefs all day.
I even looked at you and said, okay, this is the Chiefs are going to take this. And that side bet we had, which we'll tell you, was buying the parking pass for the Jets game today.
Of course, I had to buy.
So, it was an up and down game. They were up 14-0. The Chargers come back. They score a touchdown. And like we said, in 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Chiefs are up 28-14, have a 14-point lead at home. That shouldn't even be a problem. The Chargers scored. They stopped them. They got the ball back. They scored. And what did they do? The play of the night. They decided to go for two.
Yeah.
And they left Mike Williams wide open.
So, yeah, speaking of Mike Williams.
For the win at 29-28.
Speaking of Mike Williams, credit for Bobby again, because he called out Mike Williams before the game started. If you saw our Thursday previews, you saw he was saying that was his guy to watch for a sleeper, and everyone that was sleeping got awoken because he scored those 3 touchdowns, and he lit up fantasy scoreboards.
Oh, he was you know what? He's such a phenomenal player. We saw it in college.
Yeah,
and
he was showing those college flashes.
It seems on the Chargers, who's their one constant in the receiving
Keenan Allen, but Allen went
hurt.
down. The Chargers win's really impressive. I mean, you're down to your second and third wideouts. You're down to your third and fourth running backs. You're down 2 scores, and you still find a way to win the game on the road. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
the Chargers are a serious threat. I'm starting to think they can make a run at the Super Bowl.
You know what? Well, I'll tell you this. They do have the defense to do it.
Yeah, because obviously their defense is better than KC, which is something you pointed out to why you thought the Chargers would win it when we were arguing about this a couple days back.
Well, it's safe in this league nowadays. It's all for offense, and we don't really talk about how good defenses are anymore. But in my opinion, I think there's 3 teams in the NFL right now who have very, very good defenses, and those teams are the Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost just said the San Diego Chargers. I keep saying that all the time.
I'm gonna throw the Baltimore Ravens in there too.
I think
I'm gonna put them in there as a fourth if you want.
No. Their defense is good as well, but I think the Chargers' defense is a lot better than theirs.
Yeah, I mean they have some better personnel. I'm not sure how the points per game stack up exactly, but you can make the argument.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Chargers 11-3, Ravens are 7-6, but the only thing is the Ravens' offense compared to the Chargers is like a peewee offense.
Yes, I agree.
Look at the pieces on both offenses.
It's like it was like our high school football team.
Oh God, let's not get into that.
No, let's not. Right, since I was on the team.
So speaking of bad football, we just got back from the Jets game, but this game was actually better than most of them this year, probably.
Oh,
I mean, they played a good team tough. They lost by 7. They were down big in the first half. You were starting to think it might be a blowout. They were down 16-3 before Darnold let a drive in the 2-minute warning to Robbie Anderson for a touchdown. So they went into the locker room down 16-9 because Myers missed the extra point.
Which he hasn't done all year. He's been very well.
But that's not the only one he would miss. Later in the game, when Darnold threw a touchdown pass to Andre Roberts to actually give us the lead in the fourth quarter. Stunning word, I just saw that right now. Myers missed another extra point, so he missed 2 extra points.
Yeah, and
it ended up being costly.
Yeah, it definitely did. Absolutely. And that's 2 points off the board that you could have had and you definitely needed.
Yeah.
And it's unacceptable. It really is.
So there's a couple takeaways from this. The Jets defense actually played pretty well. They had 6 sacks, and I want to shout out Henry Anderson. I think he's been a great pickup from the Colts at 3 sacks. We got him for nothing, so I hope the Jets can re-sign him. Of course, Jamal Adams been a beast all year, had a sack in the 4th that forced the Texans to kick a field goal and kept us in it. So that was a big play for Adams. The Texans field goal kicker and DeAndre Hopkins are the MVPs of this game. Forbath nailed 5 field goals. 2 of them were from 45 plus. So he did a great job. He didn't miss 1 kick. And Hopkins just destroyed the Jets single-handedly. 10 catches, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Of course, had the game-winning touchdown and probably destroyed my fantasy season in 1 league. So that's not too fun.
Yeah, and definitely this game, DeAndre Hopkins took over the game.
Yeah, we had no shot against him.
And he had 10 catches for 178 yards, and he scored 2 touchdowns. And
the guy went off.
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson played pretty well. I thought he was going to do a lot better than he did. But he didn't run
for as much as he normally does. No. He still threw for almost 300.
No, the Jets limited him in that capacity.
Yeah, the Jets did what they could.
The game plan. What was the game plan for the Jets? In my opinion, was
to limit his running, and they did.
Keep Deshaun Watson in the pocket and make him uncomfortable. And what did the Jets do? They kept him in the pocket, and they made him very uncomfortable. He sacked 6 times.
Yeah, so they did well. The offensive game plan, I'm still not sure about. Like, we didn't have Crowell, so our running wasn't really there. I think we tried to run it. One play, we ran it on 2nd and 14. I'm like, what are we doing on that call? Like, who's running on 2nd and 14? Who are you fooling? You might as well just punt if you're going to run on 2nd and 14. What are you thinking?
On 2nd and 14,
this is the stuff that gets me so infuriated and why we need to fire top balls. Like, I just can't play this out. I think I told Bobby before as a joke, I think 15 days till he can get fired. That's how I'm looking at it now because we're about to hit that Sunday. You go 2 weeks, you add an extra day, and that would put you on the Black Monday where coaches get pink slips after the season, and that's where I'm hoping Todd gets his.
Yeah, he definitely needs it.
I would expect him to. If he doesn't, I'm going to be alarmed, and I think our whole fan base might revolt.
He definitely.
I think you would get a protest, and I would lead it. I would gladly lead that protest if he's not fired.
Yeah, you'll lead that
show.
Listen, Todd Bowles
I got you guys.
needs to go. We've talked about this from our first ever show. We said that Todd Bowles is a coach.
I've been hitting that. I've been hitting that in the head for a while now. It's tough to play out the stretch for them. It just is.
It's just,
we don't really have an interim coach, so I guess I understand it, but it's just tough to watch.
But, watching him on the sideline, he's so nonchalant, too, because when we were there, I was watching his demeanor and all that.
And you told me when you were at the Jets-Patriots game, he wasn't doing anything either.
He's very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Seems like he doesn't have that fire. I mean, I'm not going to question his passion, but he doesn't have that fire, He's not
a New York guy either. It's not a nice fit.
Look, you know what? Fit. You know what? It was good while it lasted. I guess good riddance. He needs to go. Like I said, today's game, I really don't understand the offensive game plan. Like you said,
Darnold played well. He threw for 250, 2 touchdowns and no picks, so that's encouraging. But I think I would have liked to see him do more. Obviously, we have no running back right now because Crow's injured. So the game plan on offense has been curious all year, and today it still was. If you look at it, the game basically came down to 2 nice drives when we had to score in crunch time, and we did. So that's positive. But what was going on the rest of the game? Like, why couldn't we move the ball like that then? I don't know.
It was really baffling because, they were making – it seemed like, who was really making a lot of plays tonight? It was Robbie Anderson. He really stepped up.
He played well, except that one drop on 4th and 15 really cost us.
Listen.
But it was a tough play.
No, listen.
He should have called it. It was in his hands.
He was right. We were right there. We saw it. And the coverage was so great, and he was hit as it hit his hands. It was perfect coverage. It was a good play by the defense. Can't take anything from there, but Robbie, when it's in your hands, you got to catch that ball, bro. You got to catch it.
So
that's the game. You catch that ball, that's first down, and you go down to try to win the game.
So long story short, Jets lose. The tank is on. 2 games left. Let's see where we end up in the draft.
Yep. So they're 4-10 now?
Yeah, we're 4-10.
4-10. Okay.
So
moving on.
Let's just move forward. So another local team that's hanging on for dear life, the Giants at 5-8. They'll be welcoming the Titans at 7-6. This is a 1-point spread for the Titans, so this game's a coin flip. Titans will have Mariota, Giants, Eli. And how do you see this game shaking out?
Well, I see, this game playing out. I think that the Titans really need a win, and the Giants, are still mathematically in it, so they need a win as well. But who's closer to that? I feel that's the Titans. The Titans right now are so inconsistent. It's not even funny. Marcus Mariota's play is inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
But this game at MetLife tomorrow, I think personally that the Titans are going to come out. They're going to – I will admit this. I'm going to track what I said earlier to you, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will struggle a little bit. But I think that the defense forces a turnover, and that's where on offense they'll get hot. Okay. And I think the Giants' game plan is to try to keep Mariota in the same thing as the Jets' game plan, keep him in the pocket and make him uncomfortable. Well, easier said than done because Marcus Mariota, with his legs, can destroy you. With his arm, he can destroy you. So, in my opinion, I think tomorrow is going to be a Titans day. And who's it going to be led by? It's going to be led by Corey Davis. I think he's going to have a very good game, especially since this team does not have a tight end now because they just lost Jonnu Smith for the year with a torn MCL.
Speaking of injuries, what's going on with Odell and the Giants?
So Odell Beckham has that quad injury, and there was optimism that he could play, and head coach Pat Shurmur shut that down and declared him inactive during the week. And that's saying something. They're not I think it's more serious than people are thinking. And, they said it's from what I'm hearing, it's a thigh bruise. He has a quad. It's a quad bruise. I think it's more than that because if it was a quad bruise, I think he could play through a little bit of a bruise.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure how serious the injury is, but you got to weigh a couple things here. First of all, the Giants, yes, technically they're still in it, but for all extents and purposes, they're not really in it. Like, are they really going to go 8-8?
No, they're
Is everything going to fall in their favor?
technically,
Probably not. Like,
I
they
don't
can't
think
win the
they're gonna
division, really, so they have to get that 6th spot. The odds are so insurmountable. It's not worth risking Odell's health, even if he's a little bit banged up to me. So I'm not sure how serious the injury is, but to me, you don't risk it in this spot. It's not worth it.
Well, yeah, you got to protect your great players, and he obviously is one of their great players. The other one is a certain running back by the name of Saquon Barkley.
Yes, I'm about to touch on Barkley.
But, with Odell, he's out this week. Do I think he plays next week? Maybe. We all expect him to.
I don't know.
But you know what? Pat Shurmur is just being cautious with his star wide receiver, and you can't take any blame for that. But when you're trying to mathematically stay in a playoff race, because right now I believe they're 5-8. I believe.
Yeah, they're 5-8. So they're technically hanging on the thread, like you said.
A very thin thread.
Yeah, it's very delicate.
I think that, in my opinion, I would play him because you need him. But you saw last week against, it was the Redskins, but they really they did well without him. But
yeah,
listen, when you have. And I'll lead you into this. When you have Saquon Barkley playing, you could make all these plays happen. So what do you got?
Yeah, so Barkley has 1,100 yards rushing, a little bit over on the season, and 9 TDs. Also, Eli's 18 touchdowns, 8 picks on the year, 3,400 yards around. So he's been playing well. Nothing too crazy, but a decent season for Eli. So Derrick Henry, he's the big X factor for me in the Titans. You saw the huge game last week, but he still only has 712 yards in the season despite that, and still just 9 touchdowns. So where was this guy the rest of the year? What Derrick Henry are we going to see tomorrow? That can determine what happens with the Titans to me.
Yeah, you know what? We saw what he did on that Thursday night game, and he just went off. 99-yard touchdown, and then a 54-yard touchdown, scored 4 TDs. But I agree with you. He's a very inconsistent player. Ever since he got into the league, he's been an inconsistent player and a huge disappointment. And listen, I'm not going to take away what he did during that game because he was tremendous. But what does he do? I want to see how he plays this week. I agree.
Yeah, so we got to see if he follows it up for once.
But I will say this, he won the Heisman Trophy, this guy.
He did.
In college, he was great.
But he was that dude.
Listen, we've seen this before. There's guys in college who are Heisman Trophy winners who come to the NFL and can't tie their shoes and chew gum at the same time.
Like
so
Jason White, Tim Tebow,
yeah,
like all those people.
All those guys. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what he does tomorrow. I think the Giants are going to really stack the box and try to make it hard for him. They're going to make him earn his yards.
I feel you.
You won't see him rushing for 99. You won't see that this time. So
yeah. So I'm going to go into what Bobby's saying, and I'm going to use that for my points and why I think the Giants will win, because I think they'll stack the box.
You're going Giants to win this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the G-Men here because I don't trust the Titans. We went down there. My Jets went down there and should have had them beat. We couldn't even score an offensive touchdown, and we still should have won that game because there was a million field goals with the pick 6. We were up the whole game. Then we just got conservative, had like 3 straight 3-and-outs in the fourth quarter, something ridiculous. Not that I care because it's probably better we lost, but the Titans, it just shows they're not really that legit. And the Giants are probably better than us. So if I use that and then they travel, let's win. Although you can't always base arguments off that, but I'm thinking Giants tomorrow because they're still playing hard despite everything going on. They haven't quit at all. Ever since that 1-7 start, this looks like a different football team. I think they carry that out tomorrow as well.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I think the Titans get this victory. I think that tomorrow, Marcus Mariota, you're wondering what kind of Marcus Mariota you're going to get.
Well, that too. I didn't even get to that, but I could ask that.
I think I'm going to answer that question for you, Jules.
All right, let's see it.
I think he's going to come out and play a great game. I think he's going to utilize Corey Davis. I think he's going to use Deion Lewis out of the backfield to go against those linebackers, especially their linebacker, their star linebacker right now, which is Alec Ogletree, the former LA Ram.
He can't cover anyone in the past, so I know that.
No. But in the past 2 games, he's had an interception. So that's 2 consecutive games with picks. So we'll see if that goes on. But I think tomorrow, the Titans defense is going to make Eli uncomfortable. I think they have a good pass rush, in my opinion. They're decent. I think he's going to be under duress a lot. They're going to force him to turn the ball over. I think that Malcolm Butler and Logan Ryan and company in that secondary do just enough to cover the receivers. Since Odell is not there, they don't have to worry about it. So they're just going to have to worry about who? Sterling Shepard and Russell Shepard and
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram. What kind of Evan Ingram you're going to get?
That's a good question, too.
That guy, to me right now, he has bust written all over him.
Well, so, I'm going to slow your roll on that. I still like Evan. I have him playing, so I'm going to trust him.
Listen,
Evan he scored 10 last week. He has 70 yards. He did something.
Yeah, but it's 1 week, and the guy dropped so many damn passes, man.
Well, he's going to have his chances tomorrow, and I think he's going to cash in. I'm saying Ingram scores the TD tomorrow.
You do? Okay.
And I'm gonna say play Shepard, too. I like both those guys. Obviously, Barkley. You don't even got to ask me about Barkley. And the Titans, I like Corey Davis tomorrow, too. I really do. The running backs with Deion Lewis and Derrick Henry, I'm a little bit iffy, although if you had to play him, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I could see him getting 15 or so.
Oh, well, like I said, I'm going to go Titans all day. They get the victory to try to stay alive. And
all right, so let's see if I can get some redemption for that Chiefs loss.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
So next up, we have another game, Bucs and the Ravens. And this is a interesting situation here because hold up, I gotta wake you up for a second. So did the Ravens finally decide what's up with Joe Flacco? I believe there's some news with that. You gotta tell me.
Yeah,
I understand Ravens Bucs isn't so sexy, I guess, but
no, yawn.
Yeah, you don't seem too thrilled.
Yawn. Well,
what's going on?
Well, I would like to. Before
you have some
I get
new
to
news?
that, I've got some new news just about the game that's going on that just ended actually between the Browns and the Broncos.
What happened?
And so the Browns got the victory, 17-16. They won.
That's so 6 wins for the Browns.
Yep, Baker Mayfield, 188 passing yards, 2 TDs. And they played very well today. I picked them to win. I had a feeling they were going to win. They would go to Mile High, get the victory. I'll tell you
Tim, he sunned me twice now. That's the second game he got me. I said Broncos will win it. In 2 games by 1 point. This is blasphemous. Okay, you got me by 1 point in 2 games. I am coming back for redemption. Tomorrow's games and Monday night. I am coming back. I'm gonna get these picks right.
Are you Stephen A? This is blasphemous?
Yes, how I've lost 2 games by 1 point. I'm going to quote the great Stephen A by saying blasphemous.
I love it. I love it.
I'm reeling right now on my picks, I guess.
So with that, yeah.
And my fantasy team, too, because Lindsay didn't do well, so I'm not happy about that.
Browns get that victory. They look like a totally different team minus Hugh Jackson. But anyway, so back to the Ravens news. So news regarding the quarterback situation. Since Joe Flacco is now healthy, he has lost his job to Lamar Jackson, and I am not surprised about this. This is a long time coming.
I don't like this. I love this.
I think Joe Flacco is Joe Fluco. I think he's a fluke. I think his entire career is a fluke.
Whoa!
I think that Super Bowl win he had is a fluke. I think everything. Listen, he's okay. I think he's missed, but this was a long time coming. You see that the Ravens with him at quarterback, he brings a whole different dynamic than what Flacco brought to them, and Coach John Harbaugh likes what he sees, and for the next few games, for the rest of the year, actually, he's going to be the starter.
He may be the starter for some time now.
Yes, and
if everything goes well for him,
he's their future. So
yeah, so.
I'll look into the future of the Baltimore Ravens.
So the Ravens have been playing great with him. They're 3-1. They lost a close game to the Chiefs. This team plays well with him. They've been running well with Gus Edwards. And for fantasy, I would say keep rolling Edwards and Lamar. The receivers are tough, but if you need to roll the dice, I always say John Brown, the best receiver they have. Lamar's ran it for 471 and 3 touchdowns. That's where his fantasy value has been as a runner. So if you have him, you may even want to roll him out there. He could pick up a lot of yards rushing against the Bucs. Why not? Not a very good defense. So Ravens 7.5, lay it down. Ravens big, Ravens day. Bucs are 1-5 on the road. Ravens 4-2 at home. This is going to be a dominant effort by the Ravens.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think this is Tampa Bay.
Whoa, you're going pretty upset.
Hell no. Absolutely not.
You're playing some tricks on me now.
Absolutely not.
I was going to say, what are you talking about?
No.
I was going to have to go off.
Oh, my God. I should have just stayed with it so you did go off.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you missed me.
All right. So, listen. You play anytime somebody plays Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're getting a victory. That organization unfortunately is a clown show organization.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this: tomorrow you're going to see Lamar Jackson run all over the place. You're going to see John Brown.
Like I said, I think you could possibly get him in there.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson tomorrow.
I think John Brown is going to have a good day. I agree. I think he's going to score a touchdown. I think Gus Edwards also with that running back situation, got Gus Edwards, and they started using Kenneth Dixon.
Right, Dixon came back. That's right.
That's another one. So
he could be a sleeper, Dixon.
Yeah, so watch out. So watch out for him.
Nice mention.
Watch out for him. But I think tomorrow, I think that Mike Evans is going to make it hard on that secondary.
Evans has been a beast all year.
Evans is going to have a touchdown,
I think,
tomorrow.
He is the one consistent thing with the Bucs that you roll out there no matter what. This man has 70 catches. He's got over 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns. So Evans just kills it every week. And I'm not going to tell you to sit him down. I can't do that. So tight ends, if you want to roll the dice again with Cameron Brate, feel free. I did it last week. He scored twice. He has a harder defense this week. Mm-hmm. And the running backs I would not throw in this situation. The Ravens defense is no joke against the run.
Yeah, so I'm not taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm taking the Ravens to win. Ravens Day.
Yeah, so we go to another interesting game here with the Packers and the Bears. This one probably has more appeal than the one we just talked about, although not as much as it normally would. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers trending down, Bears trending up. Rodgers is 17-4 against the Bears in his career. Is he still in their head? There's been some trash talk going around. The Bears are motivated in this game. They're a 5-point favorite at home. I think they're going to crush the Packers. I think that defense is going to collapse on Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Aaron Jones should be in your lineup. I think it's a two-man race. It's just Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Rodgers, I'm going to say, can even be savable if you have a better option. That normally doesn't get said too much, but you saw what the Bears did to Jared Goff. Why can't they do it to Aaron Rodgers? Maybe not 4 picks, but the Rams have a much better offense. The Packers' offense is a shell of the Rams' offense, and the Bears' defense is still really good.
Yeah, I think that what you saw week 1, where Aaron Rodgers was under duress, where we thought he was out for the whole year, he came back, he led them to victory. That's not going to happen this time.
This is a different situation.
This is a different situation.
Oh, that's a good point. The Bears got to be extra motivated after winning that one.
Oh, yeah.
That was their game. They should have won that.
Listen, anytime you're playing a division rival, I think there's always that
extra
motivation.
Yeah.
So I think that this game, Aaron Rodgers is going to make plays. That 17-4 record, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I just threw it out there for the normal facts.
Normal.
I agree. I would throw it away too, honestly.
No, I think this
bear down.
This division now
is a Bear division.
When they got Khalil Mack. I think that was such a smart move by
I wish our team. I wish the Jets could have got it.
Bears organization. Excuse me.
Yes, but we get what you mean.
The Bears organization to get him.
Yeah. So when I'm looking at the Bears, Mitch has been killing it. 21-12 on the year. His touchdowns and picks. It's almost a little over 2,500 yards. So I would play him against the poorest secondary, the Packers. Also, the X factor is Tariq Cohen though. 679 yards on 63 catches and 4 TDs. Not to mention the yards rushing. His man's close to over 1,200 yards total. So Cohen's been a beast all year. Get him in there. I think this is a big Allen Robinson day if he can play. I know his health's up in the air. If he's not good to go, I would look at Anthony Miller and Taylor Gabriel and step up and take that production. Also, Trey Burton could be worth a look in this situation. I'm feeling he's going to get a touchdown.
Well, I think the Bears are going to get this win. I think Tariq Cohen is the X factor. I think
Cohen's a beast.
He does it all for them, and they really found something special in him, especially since Matt Nagy uses him the way that he used to use Tyreek Hill when he was with Kansas City. So I think that Allen Robinson, if he's going to play tomorrow, I think he gives this Packers secondary that is absolutely atrocious, is going to give them havoc, is going to wreak havoc.
Yeah.
I think that I think Jordan Howard. You know what? He's getting his.
He could have a good day too. I'll possibly get him in there.
He's gonna. He'll have a few yards, maybe a touchdown. I'll be generous and give him a touchdown. But
I can see how much you think the Bears are scoring. I can see them getting 28, 31, somewhere in that range. Packers put honestly, up 14 or 17, maybe if that many.
I think the Packers are gonna. I'm gonna go with Packers score 20, but I think that this year, I think that you're gonna see Rodgers throw multiple interceptions, in my opinion, and fumble the ball. Happen. Because this defensive front with the best defensive player in football right now, Khalil Mack, and Akeem Hicks, who is somebody who nobody talks about, who is a tremendous player.
Also, Roquan Smith's been coming up too. That first-round pick's looking good now.
No. They literally loaded up on defense with that front seven, and it has paid off.
That's why the Packers don't have any shot. That front seven's going to demolish them.
Who's their best front seven? Is that guy Mike Daniels, and he's out. So. And then they lost Mo Wilk.
Yeah.
Mo Wilk early in the year.
I don't like him anymore after how he ended with us. So that's whatever to me. So, yeah, Bear stay, Bear down. So we go to a less exciting game, Lions and Bills. You want to sleep? This would be a good time to do it.
Okay.
So
another yawn.
Yeah, Bills are a 2.5-point favorite. I don't even know who the
Whoa. Wait a minute. What'd you just say?
Yeah, the Bills are favored against the Lions.
The Bills are favored against the Lions. Are they home?
The Bills are home.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's how you get the favorite from the Bills. So this game is going to be horrible. I would recommend watching it, really. Yeah. There's Stafford and Galladay for the Lions. But Galladay's been banged up and hasn't been playing as well. He does have over 800 yards in the year with 6 TDs, but I guess, if you have him, I guess use him. I'm not sure how many better options you would have at that point, maybe flexing. But the real thing here is Josh Allen's been running the ball like a beast. 490 yards rushing with 5 TDs. He's a real weapon running the ball. Maybe he could be a future fantasy asset even.
Oh God! All right, so I'm gonna break it down for you right now.
Please give me your insight on this wonderful game.
Okay, this game tomorrow on Sunday. This game tomorrow on my Sunday ticket, I will not even attempt to look at it. When they
look at it too. That's what makes this funny.
When they show the highlights at halftime of whatever game I'm watching at 1:00, waiting for the Patriots game. When they're showing those highlights, I'm probably gonna go upstairs and probably just not. I just don't care. But listen,
such a meaningless football game.
But listen, you know what? But listen, I think Josh Allen is showing something special that he can not only throw it 70 or 80 yards, but he can also kill you with his legs.
Yeah.
So I think that's another dynamic that I don't think the Bills knew they were getting, and he's showing it, and for their foreseeable futures. But I think that for the Lions, they definitely need a win. Matt Patricia.
They could use one.
Yes.
But will they get one? That's the question I guess we should try to answer.
Yeah, so but this game is such a yawner. From now on, what I'm gonna do from now on? Games that are so boring, I'm just gonna say just yawn. Just don't
or we could call it the snoozer segment.
Yeah, we'll do the snoozer segment. We could do that. The snoozer, like the snoozer.
We should get pajamas and a pillow boy.
The snoozer. Who gets the snoozer of the week award?
I actually think there's another game that could get that even more than this one, believe it or not. It's really up there. But I'll tell you something. I think Bills win it because they're home. I'll give them that win because they're home. I have nothing else to say about this.
I think I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with the Bills as well. And the main reason is because they're home. And maybe Bills Mafia will probably just,
break some tables.
Break some tables.
They'll be lit for the game. They always are. It'll be a packed house. I gotta give them credit. The Bills fans are real fans. They go hard for their team. They do.
There's nothing like that.
Orchard Park is really a unique place. It's very boring.
There's no.
I don't think that makes sense, but I just said that.
Hey, listen, they got Bills Mafia, and if they're sad, they could go to Niagara Falls and cry their sorrows down the river.
Yeah, it's funny because I was by there, but didn't go to Niagara Falls, so that's that.
Yeah.
So another game that could be on our snoozer segment: Raiders and the Bengals. Which game do you think
Yawn.
is more? Which game do you think is more of a yawn? And which game are you going to try to watch the least amount of?
I'm not going to watch either.
If you had to choose one, which one would you watch? How about that?
I'd rather watch synchronized swimming.
I think I would honestly, I would choose the Raiders game, believe it or not, just because of Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd.
Oh yeah,
I think those are like the best players
look,
out of all the teams. So
all jokes aside,
those two should be in your lineup. All jokes
aside, I would probably watch the Raiders Bengals game, and I want to just watch.
Just that Jeff Driscoll versus
that's my other guy, Jeff
is,
Driscoll. I just want to see what he does.
Well, Derek Carr, but yeah,
I want to see Jeff Driscoll.
When it comes to this, I would go with this. You got two guys in each team that are worth playing, and then we'll move on because no one really wants to hear about this game. So Martin could be worth the look with over 400 yards rushing on the year. The Bengals defense is almost last against the run, might be last, so yeah, he could be worth it. Jared Cook's been beasting all year, has 825 yards and 6 touchdowns, so he's been solid. Keep him in there. Then, like I just talked about, Mixon has 860 yards with 6 TDs rushing. Boyd's closing in 1,000 yards with 7 TDs. So those guys you got to keep in there. And I'm going to say the Bengals are a 3-point favorite, but I'm going to say the Raiders get the win in the upset.
The Raiders. Those Raiders don't even have a place to play next year. Those Raiders.
Isn't Oakland suing them or something?
Yeah, something like that. Some nonsense.
We might have to get into that another time.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna go with the.
I know you might go Bengals.
No, I'm going Raiders. Mainly because my friend Dan likes the Raiders. Yeah, no.
Maybe Cook. I'm going
with the Raiders. They had a very, very nice win last week against the Steelers, even though Chris Boswell, slipped over his own 2 feet trying to kick the game winner.
That was like a Charlie Brown kick.
Yes.
That was literally a Charlie Brown kick.
That's
couldn't believe it.
Literally.
When I saw it, that's what I thought about.
Spot on.
You got to get that meme, the Charlie Brown video or something.
Yeah, Boswell.
Unbelievable.
Steelers also tried out some kickers this week, but they decided to stick with Boswell.
He's been bad this year. The Boz has not been going on.
The killer bees in Pittsburgh are starting to deteriorate.
Well, Bell not in it anymore.
Well, there's one killer bee that will never. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and Roethlisberger's hanging in too.
Yeah, he's doing his part.
He turns it over a little too much, although he's got
a little bit too much for our liking.
We'll get to that in a bit, though. So next up, we have probably the last irrelevant game for the 1 o'clock window, which is cool, but at least it has some cool players. We got Cardinals Falcons. So Falcons are 9.5-point favorite here. It's Matt Ryan, it's Julio Jones, Tevin Coleman. For the Cardinals, you got David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald. I'm not sure how much I would play Fitz. Maybe Bobby knows some more about how he's been doing lately. I'm not sure if he's worth the look here. David Johnson's been up and down, but the Falcons' defense has been horrible, so I would go with DJ. Falcons play Coleman, play Ryan, and play Julio. Actually, not Coleman. Julio and Ryan are cool. Ridley and Sanu and Hooper are kind of risky at this point, but yeah, just Ryan and Julio, I guess. This team's been doing bad lately. I don't know.
So I can answer your question about how Larry Fitzgerald's doing. Larry Fitzgerald is literally the only receiver of relevance that he has that he could rely on, Josh Rosen. So he's getting a lot of double coverage now.
Yeah, that's probably an issue. And he's not as fast as he used to be, obviously.
But look, Larry Fitzgerald does not – and you want to know something about Larry Fitzgerald? He does not drop passes. He has the most receptions with one team with over 12, almost 1,300 catches. So he is doing okay. I mean, he's not going to get you 25, 30 points a week in fantasy.
Not anymore, no.
And for stats wise, he's not going to catch 10 for a $150 and 3 touchdowns.
That won't happen anymore.
Look, he's going to get you like a maybe 4 catch, low yards, and maybe a touchdown if you're lucky.
So you're kind of rolling the dice.
Yes, it's a very, very risky.
It's a tough situation because you got a rookie quarterback with barely anyone to throw to. Christian Kirk went down, so it's been a rough sledding for that team. And I'm going to say I'll give the Birds one last chance to prove me right for once. Although I did say they would lose, and they did lose last week. So this time I'll support them. I'll say they cover. Falcons win. Falcons big. This is their last home game of the year. I expect them to go out with style.
I'm going with the Falcons. Of course I am. I think the Falcons, they need to keep winning. I think that Julio Jones will do just enough.
He's going to have to go off for me to have any chance in one game.
Just kidding. He's going to go off.
I need him to match that DeAndre Hopkins 40 points. That's what I need.
I think he's going to go off. I really
hope so, man. Because it's that high-profile matchup with Pat Peterson. Those two have so much respect for each other. Julio burned him once. One time Peterson shut him down, so this will be the grudge match right here.
So we'll see what happens.
So they're both going to show up. It should be fun to watch that at the least, even though the teams haven't been playing well.
But I think that tomorrow Matt Ryan has a nice game. I think that excuse me. I think that Calvin Ridley is going to have a nice game as well. But I think that the Falcons get the win.
Yeah. I agree. So now we have two very interesting games in the 1 o'clock window. And this one's going to hit you hard, but we got to talk about them. The Dolphins and the Vikings. Obviously, we know what the Dolphins did to his Patriots. And now we're going to see if they can.
Why do you keep bringing this up?
We're going to see if they can stay hot against the Vikings. It's just too funny. I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about the Miami Miracle.
All 31 other teams are laughing, and you know it.
I don't want to talk about the Miami Miracle.
What a great play. Can you drink to the house? Gronkowski whip it. Get it nothing but air.
All right, let's just stop. All right, I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't want to talk about this. All right, so
let's get back to real stuff.
So
Dolphins and Vikings. Here we go. Dolphins are traveling. Both teams are edge playoff teams. I can't believe we're calling the Dolphins an edge playoff team. I'm not happy about that either. Don't worry. They're 7-6.
No, we don't want to see the Dolphins make playoffs.
That's something we could agree on. So here we go. Vikings, Cousins. Cousins was horrible against the Seahawks. Tannehill's been decent this year. Thielen's been a beast. Diggs has been a beast. And Kenny Stills has been all right for the Dolphins. So the Vikings have the better weapons. They probably have the better defense, but they haven't been playing better. So how do you see this one going?
Well, I think the Dolphins are riding high after that
miraculous win.
I'll call it miraculous win last Sunday. Give credit where credit's due.
I mean, they're in the thick of things in that AFC playoff race somehow.
Yeah, they are. So, but listen, the Vikings are such a disappointment, especially with their high-priced quarterback, Kirk Cousins, $84 million over 3 years, fully guaranteed.
It's time for him to start earning that money because he hasn't so far.
Looks like the Vikings are going to definitely have buyer's remorse on this one. I think that, you know what, he is just so inconsistent, and he should be putting up way more numbers and have much better record than he does now.
Okay, so right now he has 24 touchdowns and 9 picks, but with the weapons he has, Thielen and Diggs, he could be doing better. You're right. I'm not going to disagree with that.
They're horrible.
I mean, he
absolutely horrible. There's no way.
And also, the whole thing.
Way of putting
now, here's how I see this: the whole thing with DeFilippo and Zimmer not running enough, throwing too much. I don't understand the whole disconnect there, but here's what I think it leads to. I think you're going to see Dalvin Cook get the ball a lot, be the star of the day for the Vikings, and the play of the day for the Vikings. That's my bold prediction for the Vikings, and obviously, you play the wideouts for Vikings. You don't even question that. Rudolph can get in there too, most likely, because you probably don't have a better tight end than him at this point, I would guess, if you have him. So I would stick with him. Tannehill spent 16 touchdowns and 6 picks in the limited games he's played. He's done well. I mean, they're winning when he plays. That's the one thing you can say about Tannehill. They do have a good record when he's out there. So, but I'm going to say the Dolphins get a dose of reality. Vikings bring them back to earth. Vikings big. They'll cover the number.
Yeah, I
think you're gonna see a wake up call.
No. You're gonna
because their hair is on fire now. They're 6-6-1. There's teams coming for that spot. They do not want to be missing the playoffs with that big contract to Kirk Cousins. That would just look stupid.
I think that I agree. Well, I agree with you that the Vikings are going to get back on track against the Dolphins, and I want to see if their star corner Xavier Howard is going to play for.
That's going to be a big thing.
Right. And to get into that, I'll put it under And
we'll have our injury updates.
We'll have
tomorrow.
the injury updates tomorrow. We don't know that many today.
Yeah.
So
we're just doing some pre-recording.
Well,
now,
I do have one for the Steelers, but we'll wait for the Steelers. So
that's coming soon. So we'll be good with that.
So what I'll say is the Vikings get it done. They get back on track. I think Diggs is going to go off. He's going to get back on track. It's a good one because
are horrible against the run. Like I feel like I state their horrible run stats every week, and they just continue to be horrible against it. Because you guys ran well against them, right?
Well, we did okay. I mean, Sony Michel, I think he had like 67 yards rushing, but we could have done a lot better. I mean, like, let's put it this way: if we could have ran the ball, we wouldn't have been in that predicament where if we could have ran the ball, we could have scored a touchdown instead of kicking a field goal where that led to this Miami miracle.
Well, I think, I don't know. I mean, I think the Vikings will get the run game figured out. Regardless of that, the Dolphins defense has been pretty much putrid against the run all year. So I think the Vikings will expose that because Zimmer wants to run the ball, and that's what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's ground and pound the way he likes it. So I think that the Vikings are going to get the win, and running the ball is going to help them do that.
Yeah, so the last 1 o'clock game, but this is the biggest one to me.
There's a lot of 1 o'clock games tomorrow. Wow.
Yeah, because it's weird how they broke it up. There's only 2 4 o'clocks. But here's the game of the day for one. Cowboys and the Colts.
That's at 1 o'clock?
Yes, that's huge playoff implications here. Huge. Colts 7-6. Cowboys could possibly clinch the division. Colts want to get that 60 if the Ravens slip up. So how do we see this one going? Cowboys traveling to Indy, and Indy is laying around 3 points, which means these teams are even as even can be because I think 3 points is given automatically for being at home. So if this game was played on a neutral site, this game will be a pick'em.
No.
So look at it that way.
So here's what I'm going to say about this game. And this game, like you said, absolutely play a lot of playoff implications with this one.
This is big.
Both teams in the hunt and wild card teams. And
they're trying to separate themselves to show they're real or not real.
Yeah,
so this is a big moment.
Listen, I'm going to give you my quick take on both teams. The Dallas Cowboys are hot right now. They look really good.
They've won 5 straight.
Especially with their brand new toy, Amari Cooper, who has been nothing short of spectacular
Coop, and more Coop. 40 catches, 642, and 6 TDs since joining Dallas. So Coop has been rising with the Cowboys. So since he got Coop in that lineup.
Since he got to Dallas, he's been nothing short of.
That's a chance I want to see this week.
Yeah, Coop. Yeah, he has been so good for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna need him to be good.
Jules,
not good, great.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Bad. Just I'm sidetracked.
I'm gonna tell you. No. I'm gonna tell you what. Tomorrow, the Cowboys defense, in my opinion, they come to play tomorrow. They're gonna make Andrew Luck and company very uncomfortable, and that's one thing we're gonna go to right now. I'm gonna go to the Colts. Colts offensive line has been absolutely spectacular this year, keeping their high-priced quarterback Andrew Luck
Quentin Nelson been a great pick
and not hurt. So it all depends on how that offensive line of the Colts is going to play. If they're going to play well, then Andrew Luck is going to pass all over the place and make Dallas's life miserable. I think personally, in my personal opinion, I'm going to go with Dallas on this one. I think that they are riding high. I'm going to keep riding the high horse. I'm going to stick with them. I think Andrew Luck is playing exceptionally well. I think that the Colts look great. I don't think they look that great, though. So I think Dallas is starting to really peak at the right time, and I'm going to go with Dallas on this one.
Okay, so here we go again. And this is going to seem like a replay for some people, but last week I was off the Cowboys, saying they were due for a loss, and I'm going to stay with that train of thought again. I don't like Dak Prescott still. He has 17 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's very underwhelming. Colin Cowherd or someone, I think maybe Skip Bayless, but you know how biased he is with the Cowboys, said he would take Dak Prescott over Andrew Luck, and I wanted to smash my phone against the floor.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that was an asinine comment.
Even for a Cowboys fan to say that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I get he's a Cowboys fan, but the comparison.
Colin Cowherd's a Cowboy?
No, this wasn't Cowherd. I messed it up. Cowherd said something else about how Luck's better than Mahomes, so I had that in my head, but that's a completely different thing.
Skip Bayless?
Yeah, Bayless has said that he would take Dak over Luck, I'm pretty sure. So that's cool to know.
Well, he's just a homer. He's a homer for the Cowboys. So
I'm going to hope he gets proven wrong this week. I'm going to say luck shows why the Colts, and he gets the win. I think he leads a game-winning drive in the fourth, as he's done so many times. T.Y. Hilton and Ebron roll him out there. Those two have been beasting all year.
Ebron's been so good at tight end for them this year.
12 touchdowns, 12 double digits.
Which leads tight ends, I believe.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you're right. Also, T.Y. Hilton's closing in 1,000 yards. I think those two are going to make a huge difference tomorrow. Marlon Mack's been running the ball well. Naheem Hines has been catching out of the backfield. I think the Colts have that offense rolling. I know it's going to be a tough challenge, but I think Dallas is due for a loss, and the Colts need the win a little bit more. And I think they get it.
That's a game we differ on, but I'm going with Dallas on this.
Got to see if I can get some of my games back. He's been beating
how about
me
them
up.
Cowboys?
Let's see if you can get them again. All right, so now the 4 o'clock games. There's only 2, which is very odd. So I'm not sure why there's only 2, but I guess that's how it went, considering the Saturday games and everything. So here we are. Before we get to the big one with the Patriots and Steelers, we're gonna get this ready, I guess. I don't know what I was going for there, but Seahawks and 49ers. So yeah, there are only a 3.5 point favorite, and to me this screams trap because that line's so low for the Seahawks. It really alarms me.
Can Nick Mullins do the unthinkable?
I'm not going to go that far with this. I think the Seahawks win it, obviously.
Me too. I'll go
Russell Wilson, Carson, and Lockett, play them all. And Doug Baldwin, if he plays, I would play. Lockett's been doing great, 755 yards and 9 TDs. Carson closing on 800 rushing. Wilson, 29-6. He had a bad day, but he'll shake it off. Kittle and Breida are the ones who get in for the 49ers. If Breida plays, I don't know the full story about that. You know anything about Matt Breida's status tomorrow?
I think he's questionable, so we'll know. We'll keep you updated on that tomorrow.
I know that's actually a bigger deal than people might think because Jeff Wilson Jr. has been rostered. Yes. Bereida's was helping teams for a little bit.
Keep an eye on.
I would say Breida's in there, definitely playing, and Kittle's been a beast. Kittle's a top 3 tight end right now. 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And no one ever thought he would be this good, too.
Yeah, he's been a breakout star for 49ers. So I'm going to say the Seahawks win this, but I don't like this line's fishy. So I'm going to say that the 49ers actually play with them for a while, and they almost win it, but the Seahawks win by 3. Something crazy. It just seems
I like it.
It just seems like that type of day. I'm going to call it 24-21 Seahawks.
24-21 Seahawks. Oh, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you that the Seahawks win. I think that George Kittle is going to make some plays. I think
he always does. That guy's
Nick Mullins really likes him, and he's really starting to show that he can play with the big boys. And excuse me, I think that personally, I think 49ers will score a lot of some points. I don't think they're going to score that much. I'm going to go 17. I think that Russell Wilson does just enough to win this game because they really need to keep winning.
Yeah, there's a big game for the Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks actually are in it right now. They're the 5.
Yeah, well, they
can actually clinch it if they win this game.
They win this game. Oh, well, there's some motivation right there. So, honestly, I'm going with the Seahawks on this one, of course, but I'm going to go 28-17.
You know, the division games get funny, so.
And here's my thing. I think it comes down to the fourth quarter, and I think the Seahawks defense makes Nick Mullins force a lot of turnovers and make a lot of mistakes in the fourth quarter. And when big players play in big games, this is a big game to clinch a playoff berth for Seattle Seahawks. They're a very underrated team. Pete Carroll, in my opinion, has done his best coaching job
with this team.
They have nobody to work with, and Russell Wilson just seems to make it work with whoever you throw in.
Okay, yeah. So to me, I'm going to actually sidetrack you for a second. With the NFC Coach of the Year, I'm looking at Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, and then Matt Nagy. Those are my big 3 for the NFC.
Those are great. Those are all great, but honestly.
Who's your guy for the NFC?
Oh, for the NFC?
We're going to talk about this later on, but I was curious.
I think the coach of the year for the NFC is definitely Pete Carroll. Okay. Look at what he's done.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Listen, Sean McVay, look at all the weapons.
Well, yeah, McVay has all the stuff going
has all those star-studded players.
So, if you really break it down, it might be Nagy versus
Nagy,
Carroll.
You know what?
That might be what it comes down to.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nagy wins it.
That's a quick turnaround.
He has done so well there.
Yeah.
So well.
So for the AFC, I think for the coach of the year, I would go Anthony Lynn or Bill O'Brien. Those are my AFC guys.
If I had to choose between the two, I'm going Anthony Lynn.
That's respectable.
And the reason why I'm going with him is, yes, he's made this Chargers team look great, and also because of what he did beating the Chiefs.
That's a huge win.
That win,
that is Mr.
That win, sir, was ballsy. That play was ballsy, and I love it. That's why you are the coach of the year. Keep it up.
My dark horse for coach of the year in the AFC is actually Frank
Bill Belichick?
No, I don't do that.
He should every year.
I've had enough. But eventually he'll retire, and I'll be happy.
And we're not talking about that now.
Yeah, unfortunately. So we move on. Now, speaking of Bill, let's just get right to it. Patriots Steelers. Here we go. Been waiting to hold this one back. So this is a big game.
I'm excited, man. Big
Patriots
game.
got that seeding going on. Steelers hanging out for dear life. So if the Steelers drop this one, they could be in second out of the playoff picture entirely because we expect the Ravens to beat the Bucs. So if the Ravens do what they have to do and the Patriots win the game, you will see a new champ in the AFC North for now, at least.
Well, my team, the New England Patriots, coming off that loss to Miami, that loss.
What a fun loss.
I think we're going to come out motivated. I think that we're going into Pittsburgh, just going to come out. We're hungry. We want to clinch a playoff berth. That's what we want to do. We want to keep that number 2 seed because as of right now, due to the Texans winning today against the Jets, they are now currently the number 2 seed, and we are number 3. If the Patriots win, they go back up to number 2, and
yes, you were right. If they win, they go back because you guys beat the Texans.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm trying to think the scenarios.
If you guys lose, you're dropped to 3. That's the situation.
The scenarios that they clinch a playoff berth because they need a lot to happen. So
you guys could clinch.
I'm going to go with this.
Well, you can clinch the AFC East with the wins, Dolphins loss.
I'm going to go with this for the Steelers. The Steelers right now, I will tell you this. Running back James Conner is doubtful for this game. And what does doubtful mean? It means he's out. He's not going to play. That is a big-time loss. They were hoping to have him for this game. So they're going to ride with Stephen Ridley, the former Patriot, the former Jet, and Samuels. Can they still make plays? Absolutely. So I think this game, for the Steelers side, you got to get the ball to your playmakers. And your playmakers, of course, are led by A.B., and Juju Smith-Schuster, who I think is one of the best receivers in football. I think the Patriots secondary is going to have their hands full. I know that for a fact. I know it's going to be high scoring, but I think that my guy Gronk, who eats the Steelers alive, he averages 110 yards a game against them. He averages 8 catches, and he also has 8 TDs against them in all the games he's played. I think he's played in 7 or 8 games against the Steelers. Well, no, I'm sorry, 6 games against the Steelers.
The Steelers have no answer for Gronk ever. Let's just put it that way, and I don't see them getting one tomorrow.
No, I think
I hate to admit that.
I think the Patriots are hungry. Listen, they don't lose 2 in a row very often.
Yeah, and he's right about that too.
And
sadly.
Listen, I'm excited for this game. I had this game circled on my calendar this whole season.
You've been looking for this.
I love the big games. You know that, Jules. I love the big games.
Always.
I wish this was flexed into Sunday night because this is the game of the week.
Yeah,
so I think that the Patriots get this win. The Steelers, I'm telling you this, they lose this game, and if they lose this game and the Steelers don't get to the playoffs because the Ravens, if they keep winning, Mike Tomlin, in my opinion, needs to get fired. He needs to go.
Yes, that is a very controversial issue, and I'm gonna agree with Bobby if this happens. Although I don't know if the
guy is
I don't know if
mediocre.
Here's a couple things here. I don't know if the Steelers think the same way we do because they really hang on to their coaches for a while. So I'm not sure if Tomlin will get fired. I think there may be some rumblings that it's possible, but I don't know the whole situation yet. So we'll see how it plays out. Can the Steelers miss the playoffs? Yes, it's very possible. Like we stated, the Ravens can win that game. They'll be up with 2 left. So at that point, if the Ravens just win a couple more, they'll be out of the division. And then the Steelers might miss that 6th spot too because the record will go down depending what happens with the other teams.
Yeah, this game you want to talk about playoff implications? This is probably the biggest one with playoff implications. Yeah, in my opinion,
because you guys are in that top 2, Chase Steelers for that division, that 6th spot. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Patriots win. and I hate saying that.
Let's hope. I'm ready. Pats Nations. And I'm going to say this. Tomorrow, you know who the dark horse tomorrow is, Jules? I'm going to go with Julian Edelman because
yes, he needs to go
historically, they cannot cover the slot receiver. They have a lot of trouble.
Here's my issue: the Steelers can't seem to cover anyone, and the Patriots have a lot of people.
And Josh Gordon played the Steelers this year when he had one catch, and that was a touchdown catch.
Yeah. Here's the deal: Brady, get him in there. 23-8, 37,000 yards in a year, and Michelle, get him in there. Gordon, get him in there. 718 yards. I'm also going to play Gronk, like you said, Edelman. Those are the big five. And James White, you have to play. So basically play all the Patriots.
Yeah.
Because the Steelers can't really stop anyone.
No.
And for the Steelers, I'm looking at 3 people. Big Ben could be worth a look because they're going to have to throw a million times considering the situation that they're probably going to be behind in.
Very good point.
And then Juju and AB, of course, because those two are some of the best receivers in the league. Juju has 12,000 yards, 91 catches. AB has 86.
He has 91 catches, Juju?
Yeah, he's been that good.
Wow. How many? Does AB have over 100 already?
He has 86.
Wow.
Juju's outpacing AB.
Boy, has tables turned in
Juju has less touchdowns. That's the only thing.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so those two are both great. Get them in there. And sadly, this is going to be a Patriots day. Patriots are 2.5-point favorites on the road, which is a bad sign for the Steelers. And they are not going to cover. Patriots cover and win.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pats Nation, baby.
Man, I hope the Steelers prove me wrong. Please come through tomorrow. Anyway, so that leaves us down to 2 games. Sunday night, we have the Eagles and Rams. And boy, is these 2 teams on a completely different levels now. What's up with the Eagles? Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, what's up?
So, as you all are aware, Carson Wentz has a stress fracture in his back, and he's going to be out the rest of the year. And who do they go to? Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. That's a luxurious problem to have. Your franchise quarterback is hurt, and then you get the defending Super Bowl MVP come back in there.
It's a good luxury.
But they're going up against the Rams, who are quite arguably one of the best teams in football, offensively and defensively. So I think this game is all Rams. I said it once, I'll say it again. The Rams win out. And Nick Foles' magic is not enough. I think that the Eagles have really been slacking this year.
Every time they have a chance to come up big, they just don't. The 2 losses to Dallas were huge. They could have won. We had to win one of those games. Can't lose both of them. They're basically out of it. They're 6-7. They're on life support. This is a Rams day. Rams win.
Yeah.
The only question to me, and it might be an interesting one to you, I don't know how you view this, but they're a 13-point favorite, so I'm not sure if they'll win by that much, but they could.
They're not going to win. I don't think they win by that much. I'm going to say they win by like a 7 to 10.
I can see a 10 maybe. It's hard for me to
13's a little too high.
It's hard for me to lay 13 when the Eagles still have like they still have some good players. Like it's hard for me to lay that many points when there's still a decent team they're facing. Yeah. So I guess we could say Eagles cover, but Rams are definitely going to win it.
Yeah.
And for the Eagles, I would look at Josh Adams potentially, although they might be behind for most of the day, so we actually might not be that useful.
The number 1 guy there. Let's hear it.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
That's who you have to play no matter what. So I would definitely continue to get Ertz in there. Got Goff, Gurley, Woods, Cooks, play them all. They'll rebound. They had a rough day against the Bears, but the Eagles have no one in their secondary, so I expect those guys.
Depleted secondary.
I expect those guys to be running wild and often. So, yeah. Rams are gonna roll.
Yes.
So next up.